Hello friends, welcome to Civil Dunya. This is the chapter 2 of module 3. In this video, we will study about marketing management, human resource management and labor laws. Okay, and in next video, we will going to learn organizational support services, central and state government, incentives and subsidies. So, let's get started with chapter 2, module 3. Marketing management. What is marketing management? Marketing management is the art and science of choosing target markets and getting, keeping, and growing customers through creating, delivering, and communicating superior customer value. Marketing problems of small scale industries are: small scale units are exposed to numerous problems. Major problems faced by these units are concerning raw materials, labor, financial, and marketing. Problem of marketing is more complicated in case of small scale industries. These units are in no position to face the onslaught of large scale limits with respect to quantity, quality, and cost, and at the same time are not in a position to assess the prevailing market scenario or changes which are taking place with respect to taste, liking, disliking, competition, technology, etc. Moreover, these units do not possess the requisite expertise to adjust their operations according to the changed situation. Problem of standardization. Small scale units faced problems with respect to fixing the standards and sticking. This results in the poor quality of their product and it adversely affects their image for goodwill in the market. Second one is competition from large scale units. Small scale units are ill equipped to face competition from large scale units with respect to quantity, quality, and cost. In the modern competitive world, there is survival of the fittest. Even the existence of small scale units is endangered. Third one is poor sale promotion. Small scale units have limited financial resources and hence cannot afford to spend more on sale promotion. These units are not having any members to exploit them because of the lack of goodwill of their products in the market. Fourth point is poor bargaining power. Small scale units, because of their limited resources and lower scale of operations, are in a weak position while negotiating with the suppliers of raw material. Finances or marketing agencies, they are always at the receiving end and as such are not in a position to safeguard their interest. Importance of marketing in small scale industries. Marketing is one of the most important things a business can do. Not only does marketing build brand awareness, but it can also increase sales, grow businesses, and engage customers. It informs marketing is the most effective way to communicate your value proposition to your customers in a fun and interesting way. It sustains. Marketing is important because it allows businesses to maintain long lasting and your present relationship with their audience. It is not a one time fix. It is an ongoing strategy that helps business flourish. It engages customer. It engages. Customer engagement is the heart of any successful business. This is especially true for small medium businesses. Consumers want to be engaged outside the store. This is where marketing comes in and whether the medium. You can send your customers content to keep them engaged beyond store hours. Your audience wants to form a relationship with your brand and marketing and can be used to do just that. IT sales. Marketing is important because it helps you sell your products or services. The bottom line of any business is to make money, and marketing is an essential channel to reach that end goal. Marketing helps sales and sales help your business. It grows. Marketing is an important strategy to ensure the growth of your business. While your current customers should always be your main priority. Marketing efforts can help you expand this base. Marketing strategies of small scale industries. The term marketing mix was coined in 1953 by Neil Borden in his American Marketing Association presidential address. The marketing mix is a business tool used in marketing products. The marketing mix is often crucial when determining a product or plant's unique selling point. The unique selling point is the unique quality that differentiates a product from its competitors and is often synonymous with the 4 P's, which is price, product, promotion and place. However, in recent times the 4 P's have been expanded to the 7 P's with the addition of process, physical evidence and people. Recently, 4 C's theory is also in the limelight. Small scale industries not using appropriate marketing strategies in the highly competitive environment. Small scale industries are weak in differentiation strategy. As small scale industries are following low cost pricing strategies, so it is also essential to follow product differentiation for product development. The small manufacturers need to use selective product positioning strategies for different products because same product positioning strategies for all products are not beneficial. Further, SSIs need to be very careful about price decision because of highly competitive environment. Products should be offered at highly competitive price after doing comparative market analysis. Small scale industries are highly satisfied regarding their product price and pricing method, but SSIs should concentrate on pricing strategies because it affects their overall marketing strategies. Customers also highly satisfied from pricing of small scale industries products. SSIs should focus on cutting the product's cost at the operational and marketing level with use of latest management approaches. Small scale industries are not satisfied their distribution channel or place so small industries need to improve their distribution channel for maximum coverage of the buyer. For maximum coverage of the market, latest technology, e-marketing or web marketing may help the small manufacturer to place the product to large number of buyers. Customers also highly dissatisfied from the distribution channel and current method of convenience of the small scale industries. Small manufacturing should adopt new methods of the convenience to the customers. It is not possible to carry out all strategies simultaneously, but a set of strategies that can survive a skeletal framework or customized approach is necessary to contact more customers towards the small scale industries products. Human Resource Management HRM. It can be defined as a strategic and coherent approach to the management of an organization's most valued assets, the people working there who individually and collectively contribute to the achievement of its objectives. Human resource development is that component of HRM which deals with the development of human resources. For a small enterprise, the following aspects of human resource development important. First one is manpower planning, second one is recruitment, selection and placement, third one is performance appraisal and development, fourth one is employee compensation, fifth one is motivation and sixth one is communication. No business or industry can survive without worker corporation. Sorry, no business or industry can survive without worker cooperation and industrial peace. Therefore, efforts should be made to ensure that relations between workers and owners or managers of the firm remain peaceful. However, disputes are frequent due to expectations on the part of both employers and employees. The government has legislated certain basic norms to be followed to avoid dispute and maintain peace to obtain maximum output from their combined activity in the interest of the nation's economy. The legislation can be categorized as follows. First one is law regulating the conditions of work in factories and establishment. Under this, there is two subcategories. First one is general knowledge applicable to all factories and establishment. The Factory Act 1948. The objective of this act is to provide for the health, safety, and welfare of workers. Second is specific laws applicable to specific industries like Mines Act 1952, Indian Merchant Shipping Act 1923, and Plantation Labor Act 1998. Second is laws relating to wages. Under this Minimum Wages Act 1948, this act has been adopted by state government to prevent exploitation of workers for the fixation and payment of minimum wages. The act prescribes for the fixation of wages a minimum time rate and a minimum piece rate, guaranteed time rate and an overtime rate. Second point is Payment of Wages Act 1936. The objective of this act is to regulate the payment of wages to a certain class of persons employed in industry and is of two kinds. First one is the date of payment of wages. Wages must be paid before the expiry of the seventh day after the last day of which period. In case of less than 1000 employee. In other cases, the payment must be made before the expiry of the 10th today after the last wage period. In the event of termination of employment of any employee, the wages earned by him shall be paid before the expiry of the second working days from the day on which employment is terminated. Second is deduction from wages, whether fine or otherwise. No deduction of any kind should be made from wages payable except those authorized by the Payment of Wages Act. The total amount of deductions which may be made in any wage period from the wages of any employed person shall not exceed the wage. Law relating to Social Security measures. Workmen's Compensation Act 1923. It is the act provides for payment to the workmen by certain category of employer compensation for injury by accident sustained at work. Employees State Insurance Act ESI 1948. This act provides certain benefits to employees in the event of sickness, maternity, and employment injury. Employees Provident Fund (EPF) Act and Family Pension Fund Act 1952. The EPF consists of the contributions made by the employer and the employee of the factory. The Act also provides for the employees' family pension scheme that ensures family pension and life insurance benefits to the employees of the establishment. Large relating to workers' associations and disputes. First is Trade Union Act 1926. This act provides the right and liabilities of a registered trade union. Second is Industrial Disputes Act 1947. It is main and is it ensure industrial fees from voluntary negotiations and compulsory adjudication. Fifth is large relating to women and child workers. Sorry, it is not large, it is laws relating to women and child workers. Sixth one is laws relating to environment and pollution control. In fourth point I read it large, it is not large, it is laws relating to workers associations and disputes. Under the laws relating to environment and pollution control, there are three laws which are: first one is water, Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974. Second is Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981. And third one is Environment Protection Act 1986. Okay, if you want to download the PDF of this video, please visit our Telegram channel Civil Dunya. If you gain some knowledge from this video, please like it and subscribe this channel for continuation of entrepreneurship development series and for more civil engineering related videos. Thanks for watching.